In this exercise, we will cut the reference into pieces and draw each piece separately over the next 9 videos. This method helps identify mistakes and improve skills in shading and proportion. Following this series, I will take these pieces and show you how I use them as building blocks to create new expressive works. Grab this reference from the description below and let's get started. There's so much detail that really can't be missed, so I'm just going to take it steady and do this and let it take the time it takes. I'll start here with some graphite powder. I've just got a little bit of sandpaper with some dust of a graphite stick. I've sanded down a bit, and if you've done the other parts, you know about that by now. I'm using this graphite powder to get the overall shape of the face in place, and just to hone in on where in the background the hair meets the blurry background. Because if I've used graphite powder, I've got an easy job erasing it and creating the strands of hair. But if I've started going in with the PanPastel, it's a little harder to erase. So I'm just trying to block in the pieces and get a sense for the different distances that I see. So now I'm gonna look at this, and this. So it's really important to get these bits correct. The rest is all organic matter, it's not crucial, but where the chin, where the part of the lips and the area beneath the lips meet the chin below has to be really as close to this reference as possible if you want to have it fitting with the next piece. And I've messed that up a couple of times. I was trying to create this tutorial within a time limit of 15 minutes I gave myself, and that didn't work. That didn't work out at all. But I had a few mistakes where the chin didn't line up with the lips in this piece. Now I'm gonna just look the one way that I check where I've placed things, and I make sure I don't get it wrong, is to kind of let my eyes dart back and forth between the reference and the drawing. So just let my eyes dart back and forth to see. And if you get that sense that, I don't know if this makes any sense to you at all, but if I get the sense that it's like jumping around, then I know that I've placed it wrongly. I want the feeling to be that it stays in the same place. And I've noticed a couple of times that I'm just prone to putting the nose a little higher than it should be. So I'm just going to be aware of that now and draw your attention to that as well. And then also, if you look at this line here, if you draw a line coming through the forehead there and all the way down across the lips, you can see the nose only sort of breaks that line with a tiny little bit of triangle. So if I just repeat that move I just did over there, it's just that much of a triangle that it kind of protrudes away from the line I envision going through the rest of the face. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I'm trying to give you all of my inner workings. And again, I'm just really letting my eyes dart back and forth as I do this to really get it in the right place as it places down. To see a little bit of a distance between the corner of the mouth and the darker shades in the hairline, in the hair here. And I'll just get that loosely blocked in straight off the bat. And I'm just gonna put some of the darker into the background as well. Now that I've got the PanPastel out. And the darkness continues all the way up here, up above her head. And the hair kind of breaks that dark background. It's even darker than this, so I'll just add another bit of tone into this background. And some of the hairs will have to cut into this PanPastel, so we'll have to work a little bit of erasing there, but that's okay. I'm willing to do that. Now I'm gonna just shade in a little bit where the hair covers the eye, and just really think about where the hair sort of curves around the head up here. Then the nose, nostril. I'm looking at the nostril in relationship to the corner of the mouth. I'm just getting that shading all around the nostril. I'm just gonna like create a circle here. And that just creates this illusion of this side of the nose protruding a little bit. Then we've got quite some dark shade coming up right onto the ridge of the nose. And down here I see a tone darker, and that creates a bit of an illusion of a curve on the face. The lips coming up like so. I'll maybe have to erase a little bit in that, but I'm bringing the bottom part of the mouth out here and just looking at the value and seeing that it's kind of throwing a bit of shadow in this direction. I'm gonna get in there with the corner of the mouth and a little bit in there. So now if I flick my eyes back and forth, I notice it's quite light here compared to what that does over there. So I'm just going to bring that gently down a tone or two, and then maybe erase into that a bit. So now if I bounce my eyes back and forth, so I'm just flicking back and forth, then I feel like there's like this, I mean, if I try to demonstrate what I'm doing, it's this that I'm doing with my eyes. It's like flicking back and forth like an animation. And then I get the sense from doing that this nose is sitting down a little bit, sitting further down low. If the picture is moving, that means it's a mistake. And this picture was moving, so I'm just bringing the nose back a little bit. That feels a little bit better. So that highlight on the lip is kind of defining where the lips are positioned. And I'll just erase a little bit into here and create the teeth. And I've always found that getting a real genuine smile captured, a peaceful smile, is one of the hardest things to do in a drawing. And there's so much fine movement in muscles around a genuine smile that it's hard to create a genuine smile with your face if you're not in the mood for it, and it's even harder to draw one. But I feel like I like this reference because I felt like she had really kind of peaceful, relaxed smile. And I'm always up for a challenge, and I find those are the hardest ones. Those are the hardest ones for me to capture. But I'm up for the challenge. What do I want to do next? Again, just testing what I've done by flicking my eyes back and forth. And when I do that, applying this technique to this picture, I definitely feel the lips are sort of twisting around a little bit funny when I do this. So I'm just going to try to work on that. Bring the lips across a little bit. And then this part comes up a little higher and a little darker. I'm just using a blending stump to do that. And then we've got, what is it called, that little Cupid's bow? That little dip here is quite important, and it's very difficult to place, so it's kind of easy to overdo it. So it just has to be super subtle. And I think that's the thing that is tricky, but not impossible. And it's so much easier to do when it's been broken down into smaller pieces like this. I'm just going to get the teeth in a little bit more. They're just disappearing a bit. And then once I've erased a little bit into this, I will then come back with the blending stump and just create a real gentle bit of shade. Also, another way to get a little bit of gentle shade is just to bring a brush in and just bring that down a tone. So one thing I want to bring up a tone now is this area here. if I flick my eyes back and forth between these two, I need to lift off a little bit here and bring that up a tone or two here on the cheeks, on the cheek, just one of them showing. So one thing that I've noticed with this picture that is really important is the second eyebrow. So we've got one eyebrow that is kind of almost completely hidden with the hair over here, and the eyebrow is right up around there, and the other one is represented, and that kind of creates a backdrop for the light to catch the ridge of the nose, the bridge or the ridge, I don't know what's the right terminology. I need to learn some anatomy language. That bit of forehead is quite necessary for the face to be believable. And you see it's lighter there, and it is also quite light in a little triangle up here, but it's not as light as what catches the nose there. Then I want to come in with the blending stump, because we see a little bit of the eyelid over here, and then it gets darker out here where it's actually the eyebrow being kind of so I want to still bring that light in around here on the cheek, but it's coming up too much now, so I'm going to come back again and bring that down with a paintbrush, and just using whatever graphite is already on the picture. But also this line here is quite hard all around there, so just lift off a little bit and make it a little less hard. Only problem is then it got quite pattern. I'm just trying to get smoothen it out a little bit again. Now I'm just going to use a little bit of powder from the PanPastel with a brush for some of the darker areas, just to get a feel for it. I think so the lips are still kind of moving when I do my flicking my eyes back and forth, so I'm just going to maybe fade that in a little bit. And this is my favorite bit to do. Once I've done all of this working in the background, I just simply love to go in and just detail a little bit in here and just get that nostril in place by just putting some darker PanPastel into the shadow areas here, and also just getting the corner of the mouth. And if you look at the lips, you can really see that the darkest bit is inside here, where the lips rest up against the teeth. So I'm gonna just go in there and get that in. And I think this is the bit where if you capture the right shade, then it's really gonna make such a difference. The corner of the lips, just curve around a little bit and just kind of reach up here. So I've got a little bit of an eyelash here that I don't want to put in. The nose, the light hits a little higher on my reference, so I'm just gonna try to adjust that slightly, and there's a bit of light at the tip of the nose. That just creates a little bit more of a feeling of anatomy, and I want to get that in as well. I want to get that little darkening in here around the nostril. And this is now too bright, so just blend it in a little bit like that. And the tip of the nose can just round off a little bit more. So I created a little bit of light on the tip of the nose. It just needs to be picked back a little notch. It's quite fine tuning, quite precise, this bit. And we've got that little bit of light coming up like so. And there's also a little detail here, which I think is important, but it's very light touch to get that second nostril in place. Really makes a difference, I think. Looking at the shadow here, that comes a little bit too close. Look at this. This comes too close to the lip. That fades out a bit more over there. So I'm just darting my eyes back and forth and enjoying the process. It's always back and forth, and I think that's what I like. That nothing is ever set in stone. You just keep bringing things, moving things around a little bit, and yeah, looking at the lip here, I feel like I just want to bring that over a little bit, and right now I can't really tell you exactly why, but I think this is also where my intuition takes over, and it just keeps pointing a little bit here, a little bit there. I often overdo things, bring it back around again. So these little hairs now, this is very satisfying to bring the darks into the darks. I'm just really looking at these strands of hair and bringing that level of value into this bit, and you can see there's just a slight bit of, I don't know if you can see it on this camera. I really wish I had an amazing light so I can light what I'm doing. I've gone in my brightest room today, but I just still feel like I need more light to show you what I'm on about. I think I want to try to move on a could definitely spend all day just really detailing this, but it wouldn't necessarily get better. I might be at the It's definitely time to get my hands on the highlights over here. But I think that definitely on this little puzzle piece, the most important is a smile for me. So that's where I want to focus my energy. And I think maybe just bringing a little bit of highlight in here. Just lifts the corner of her mouth, and there's a bit of some important micro expression in how the mouth is kind of lifted right around there. And I want to get going with I want to get going now with the highlights in the hair, because I did decide that this drawing session is just going to have to take the time it wants to take. Because if you've come this far, I think it'll be more useful to just explain more in depth what's going on in my head than to try to rush through it so that I could do it within the 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I did really like to play with these fine hair strands and having that kind of cut into the background. I think that was part of the reason I was kind of drawn to this reference, that I wanted to practice what hair does in the sun when it really catches the light. I don't know why, but I just like that. session is now 30 minutes long, so I think I'm gonna stop it here and just rest my case. Because I think 30 minutes, that'll be the limit. There's a few details that I've left out, but so be it. At the end of the day, it's all about leaving things out, I think. That is the beauty of working expressively, but obviously this exercise is all about seeing everything that I can and putting it down. So I'm going to stop now and test this piece out, see where we are with it, and hopefully it fits reasonably into the photograph. I'm gonna fit this piece that I've drawn into the actual photograph to see how well it holds up against the shade in the picture that I was trying to recreate. And because this was the 9th piece, I will of course need to put all these pieces together and see what the result is. So here we are. This is the moment of the great reveal. This is it for the last exercise of this series. I hope you'll be back for more. If you like this content, don't forget to press subscribe. I'm always thinking of new ideas in order to improve my drawing skills, and I would love to share those with you, so I will if you come back for more. If you stayed here with me to the end, I would love to hear from you what you thought of this exercise. If you enjoyed it, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.